I'm Adrian. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Jackie?
you, Jackie, yes.
Okay, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? It'll be really quick.
Okay, that's fine.
I just really want to know, like, what your agenda is with gathering and with the Justice for Micah, like the hashtag and everything that you guys have going on. So if you would just tell me like a little bit about what's going on every week.
Yeah, we just want justice for Micah. We just want her to be heard, her voice to be heard, because she was silenced for so long. And we want her to like find justice, whether it comes in any form that's possible. So we just want that to be out there, and just that's why we gather. Some people knew her, some people didn't know her, but it has brought a group of people together every weekend to be together and stay together as one.
Okay. So as far as the church goes, I know like y'all are gathering every week. Is there any like agenda behind?
Yeah, we want the church to close down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want the church closed as soon as possible, if possible.
Gotcha. And I think Nikki was telling me that people trickle in. Do you know about how many people like come attend every week for y'all?
Well, from what I heard, there used to be about 700 members that used to come to the church, and now it's down to like 30, 40 people. It just depends.
But what about you guys, the Justice for Micah group? Do you know about how many people are coming each week?
How many people do you think come every week?
I'd say the most we've had the last few weeks would be 40, maybe.
40?
30 to 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some weeks are better than others.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Some of us that have been here for a long time are like need mental health breaks, so.
I understand. Yeah, it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming, especially when you're constantly, trying to fight everything that's going on, and there's outside forces, and just.
And we're not only for justice for Micah, we're for other victims that may be involved in the situation as well.
Yeah,
so that's one of our main goals too, because there's supposed to be other victims, allegedly,
Gotcha.
other victims.
You mean like other victims in this specific case with Pastor JP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we're just going to hang out with you guys today and just kind of video the scene and everything that goes. So I was asking Miss Jackie if she could just tell me a little bit about like what your guys' agenda is here and how many people gather, that sort of thing. So if you could just tell me a little bit about what's going on and everything behind the Justice for Micah movement.
Yeah, so we're here protesting, hoping to get the church shut down, or JP in handcuffs, whichever one comes first. The group has grown. It started out with about a dozen, and then, we've kind of like built this community. We've all became like family to each other. And the goal isn't just to shame anyone for going inside. It's also trying to get them to realize that they have been manipulated with religious abuse from JP, and kind of teach them that there is a way to leave. It might take them a minute to get it, but it can happen, and they can find a new church. I know it's hard for very religious people to do that, but yeah.
Okay, well, I really appreciate that answer. We're just going to hang out today, if that's okay. Just kind of get a little bit of what's going on, and then we'll be out your hair.
No, y'all can stay as long as you like. Okay. Come as often as you want. So
thank you very much. Information, people's viewpoints on the stuff. So if you could tell me in your own words a little bit about what's going on with the protest and what your goal is with the protest.
Well, I can tell you that everyone is here for slightly different reasons. A case like this attracts a lot of people that have been hurt in their marriages, whether religious or not, And then there's a demographic of religious people, Christians, that don't believe that these things should happen in connection with a church. I'm ordained. I've been ordained for close to 17 years, and my husband and I got involved because we are working with people in the city that were really close to Micah, that were not connected to the church.
Gotcha.
And when this all happened, they contacted us and wanted prayer and ministry, and so we did.
Sure.
And but something seemed weird, and so they said, you got to watch his last sermon, and so we did. And now I'm also en route to become a therapist, so I'm becoming a master in social work.
Gotcha.
And so when I saw his sermon, I was like, something's not right, something is not right. So we started researching. We went up to Lumberton, and we were like, something's not right. So the more we dug in, we're like, there's a lot of people that are here for different reasons, but I feel like the main thing is that he should be held accountable, at least for what is proven, like what we've seen, the evidence that has come forward. And it's just a lot of people feel like that's not happening, and so that's why we're here.
Sure. Okay. Wonderful. So I had a few people tell me that the goal was to kind of get the church shut down.
It can be a lot of people's goal. I mean, because it's owned by JP, I don't see any other way. I mean, any other way of redeeming what has happened here, because a lot of people that are attending, they don't seem to have an opinion on the things that is bothering the rest of us. You know what I mean?
Even
and it's scary for us. I have children.
Yeah.
I don't want them thinking it's okay to come here and be treated that way, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of the poem I wrote in really bad handwriting, but I wrote a poem that he announced at her service, and he omitted the parts I wrote in capital. And this poem, if you go on, and it's called Micah's poem, Crush Forever, you can Google it, and it'll be better handwriting than this. It'll be typed out, and it really alludes to the fact that a lot of the things that she discusses started before she went to college. If she was married at 18, then that means he's been grooming her since before college. Now, this is allegedly. Of course, he's not been charged with anything.
Sure.
But this poem is really interesting, and I encourage everyone to check it out because he omitted certain parts that are key that talk about alleged abuse, potentially. You know what I mean? And so that means underage people are not safe here, if that is true.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of serious things going on here.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, are you a part of any other advocacy for other domestic violence or abuse victims in Myrtle Beach?
Not currently. My aunt was murdered by her husband, and when I was 4, and so I come from a home where that was used as a threat.
Gotcha.
In my home, and so it is something important to me. Thankfully, I'm in a healthy marriage for 17 years,
yes.
but it's still close to my heart because it's very hard to escape those situations.
Yeah.
And if people had stood up for my aunt the way we're standing up for Micah before it's too late, then maybe these things don't have to end this way.
Sure.
You know?
So do you think that if the church wasn't to be shut down, do you think that justice could be brought about if he wasn't the pastor anymore? Or
the problem is that he owns the property, so I just can't foresee a way that could be possible.
That he wouldn't be involved.
My heart, I love the church like as a thing because I'm an ordained minister.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to see anyone, their community ripped from them. I understand the dynamics, but it's still very difficult for people because how can we trust that the people I minister to, that I could refer this church as a safe place for them and their families? You know what I mean? And so that's a big concern for me.
Yeah, I understand. And do you feel like, in your opinion, that this is the only religious organization in Myrtle Beach where this sort of thing is happening?
Well, unfortunately, no. I wrote a book on trauma in the church because we've traveled a lot, and so we've known other people that use ministry as a cover to abuse people and things like that. And so I understand it's uncomfortable and it's not common for someone in ministry to address this topic, but I just think this is a generation that wants answers, or the faith itself may be at risk, you know, because who's going to trust it anymore, you know?
And they want the truth, the truth of the word, and that's why truth from the pulpit.
Scripture. And so they always try to say, you know, they accuse us of all these things, and there's nothing wrong with protesting as a pagan, okay? But that whole accusation was just to make us look like we have an agenda against the faith. And I'm ordained, I protest with a scripture. It's just not true. He spews lies.
I did see y'all praying before.
Yes,
also.
yeah. We start every Sunday with prayer at the beginning. My husband's coming soon with his guitar. We usually do some worship now.
Gotcha.
And Allie's been so awesome. She's let us do it because she's like the organizer. And so I always ask permission, you know what I mean? Because we're not trying to be intrusive or put religion in people's faces, but we just want to let people know, like, this is our form of worship, is standing against abuse in the church. It's part of it, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to us today. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Hannah Smith.
Hannah. Okay, where are you from?
Albany, Kentucky.
Oh my, you drove quite a ways to come here. So are you on vacation, or did you come specifically?
We're on vacation.
Okay, so how did you find out about Justice for Micah?
I followed her on Facebook just because, like, there was kind of a similar situation in Albany that happened.
Gotcha.
Nobody.
So you found it through hashtags?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of. So, we just watch it all the time and followed her, and we really liked her a lot. So, and then it just kind of devastated us when all this went on.
Yeah, sure.
And then I've just tried to keep up with all the updates and everything.
Gotcha. This your first time here?
Yeah. Well, not in Myrtle Beach, just over at
here,
this church. Yeah.
Yeah, this is our first time today also. We're local. We're with Coastal Life Media. So we're a local media group. We're just trying to gather information about what's going on here. So do you know, like, any of the backstory about the group or anything like that?
No. I haven't heard anything.
Okay. Do you have any opinions you want to share, or?
Not really, other than I hate this.
Yeah.
And
it is very tragic.
I also feel like that he's behind something. I don't know that, I'm not going to say he did it to her, but I think he knows more to the story. And
Sure.
I think that if, you know, you're in a situation like that, then sometimes it's just hard to get out. And
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, so it's
There are
just,
statistics that prove that too.
yeah, and it's a terrible situation.
It is. Well, thank you for sharing, and I hope you enjoy Myrtle Beach. Going on, but since you live here, I was going to ask how all of the protests and everything that go on every week has affected you living here.
We can understand the cause and the reason they're here, but it's disruptive to us living here every Sunday morning, and the city's in and out with these gates, putting them in and out every week. It's disruptive to the traffic flow, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So every Sunday morning, you and your dog, the whole house gets a whole wake-up call by people screaming.
correct.
And how long has this been going on?
More than 2 months.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to piece together in my head how long exactly it had been, because I told them I saw them live on Facebook like the first Sunday they were out here, but like I told the couple right next to you, I thought this had cooled down until I saw the news report about the guy who came out and sprayed them.
Yeah, the police are always here too.
Oh.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame